Welcome to Afri-Culture with yours truly, Larva McAfee, aka Nicole, with my special guest, Togbi Ngoyifia of Aflawu, Gakli Grand Lomé, where we discuss Afri-Culture. It is all about Afri-Culture. Let's get it started. Hello, bonsoir, Indona Mesiame. Always on Kaka na Afri-Culture. Thank you guys very much. Welcome to Afri-Culture. We are here live on Siana TV and chatting with Nicole at the same time. It is 4 p.m. Eastern. And if you're watching in Ghana, in Togo, in Africa, it is 9 p.m. GMT. So I welcome you to Afri-Culture this afternoon. A lot is going on this weekend, but I thank you for joining us today. Today, I'm not going to take too much time, but exciting things had happened. You guys know, I had told you guys about Ewe Association of Georgia. They were doing a coronation of their king and queens, king and queen. Yesterday, we did that yesterday, and it was so exciting. And I'm going to just share some highlights with you guys if you have missed it. If you have missed it, we did a live. We share a live between Atlanta and New Jersey. New Jersey was having their Christmas party at the same time. So we just stream it together. We kind of share the feed. So you may have already watched it. If you have not watched it, I encourage you guys to watch it. But I'm going to share just a little bit of that today. So stay tuned. It's going to be exciting. Miato miawezon kaka mbenade eso egbea mleja partager eso kevaya eso samidia miwo togbeku mama le ewaga miabe ewe association de we le Atlanta miwo cérémonie na miabe togbe kudo mama eso mbe mleja defiant mesia megbea ma so viticule so fion mi voir ele Siana TV. Elle est chatting with Nicole live, no censored. Elle est noire, mais mi photo, chon le funu mi avec elle est chatting with Nicole kudo Siana TV. Voilà, me déjà so viticule so fion mi egbe ane mi en commentaire vidéo swinti. Donc, bena mi ano camelo. But avant que mi a commencé ndek pepe am so nous le do Yehowa ben coming. Dak bena Yehowa ben plomi mi la gbe a. Yem down, ça fait 2 jours, yem pas down. Voilà. Yem le down va me la gbe. Donc, am dak pena ma o, le dak pena ma o be plomi va mo aji egbe em le dak pene. Be ekpo mi akota mi ata em le son nous le dak lo meni, we troyalo. Donc, ami no kame mi gba ya fie pepo parce que Abla le kame John Chan la va join me e kame mi agba discuter ndo po mi la gblen zande ya. Guys, I want to say that before we start, I wanted to thank the Lord because I have not slept. Guys, I am still in the system. I was in Abidjan last week, so I just got back. So my system is still not quite right, and I have not slept for a few days right now. But I was saying that I thank God because I am breathing. I can see, I can talk right now. So I thank God for our lives, and I want to put everything in God's hands right now to take control. So right now I have Abla with me. John is going to join later. So I want to share the highlights of what had happened yesterday so that we can actually focus on our topic. So I'm trying to do this because it was just last night and I've been trying to get these videos because there are so many of them. They're not loading for me, but I'm going to try to bring Abla in. She's going to introduce herself briefly again for those of you who do not know her so that we can try to play some of the videos for you. So Abla.
Hi.
Hello.
Good evening, everybody. Hello. It's nice to be back again.
It's nice to have you back again. So Abla, you guys already know. If you don't know Abla, you already know she's from Airway Association of Washington, D.C. So she's back with us because we had a subject that we tabled.
We table a lot of things.
We tabled a lot of things. The one I'm really, really excited about is the one we're going to talk about, the Women King. I'm trying to find an expert
Yeah.
Expert that will give us the story itself, not just watch the movie. You know what I mean? Like we're
But the
gonna
real
have
history. Yeah.
exactly give us the history, and then we can talk about that movie, because John was the one who brought it up that we should do a
Yeah.
movie. Okay, so that I'm looking forward to. I don't know when, but we're gonna have to find
I think
out
we
when
could
we.
put out like a call. Somebody out there knows it. Like I'm sure this is something you can put out to the public. If you know someone, let her know.
And I don't want to just, I want an expert. I want a
Yeah.
historian. I want somebody who
Yeah.
can give us, because I don't want somebody to like, I think I don't want that. So I want that history, somebody who has a history background, either
Mhm.
Benin, Togo, so that they can give us the main history. We can read
Yeah.
it, obviously, and we know what had happened, but I just want somebody who, like, historian to be part of, as we discussed
Yeah.
it. So if anybody's listening to us and you know this, somebody who is a historian, Beninois or Togolese, even Ghanaian, whoever, we can bring them in. Maybe MJ, maybe he knows. Maybe he
Yeah.
can
MJ
talk to
might
me.
be the best.
Yeah,
That's the first person I think of. So I'll check with him if that's something that
yeah,
he's
he might
comfortable
be
with.
interested. So we can bring him in. If he is, then he can come in. But you
Yeah.
have to watch the movie. I don't think you watched it. We
I still
give you
haven't watched
assignment
it.
to watch
Yeah.
it. Exactly. So you have to
There's a
watch
lot of
it.
movies I still need to watch. I still haven't watched it.
So you have to watch it before that. So Abla, yesterday, last night, and that's why I couldn't call you back. I was so busy last night. I'm telling you, I was like, I came back from Abidjan. It was amazing. I went to
Um,
Abidjan, guys. I see the Tugbies. They were the Tugby, like they
mhm.
also do the Tugby. They have their Tugby,
Yeah.
and there was a city there that is called Kumasi. There's a city
Oh,
there.
really?
I am telling
It's a
you,
city within Abidjan. Okay.
within Abidjan. It's called
Okay.
Kumasi, and it's huge. And then they actually built another Kumasi. So they have an old Kumasi there, old Kumasi town. They have a new new Kumasi, but it's not new. They
Oh,
just call it Kumasi. And the reason is because a lot of Ghanaian migrated from Kumasi to
yeah.
Abidjan. So when they got there, so they just call that place. They have that place as Kumasi. I am telling you, it is so much. So many of them are married to
Ghanaian.
Togolese.
Oh,
I'm telling you,
really?
oh my
I've
God,
been seeing a
so
lot
many.
of I've been seeing a lot of like Ivorian get because of like there's I believe they share there's a lineage between the Akans and then
I think so.
which makes
I
sense as
think
to why
so.
they probably built Kumasi. So I know
Kumasi.
like there's some I might have this wrong. I know Nzema I think is one of the languages that are shared between
I
and I
believe
think
so.
you can find tree speaking people
You can find them.
in
You can
yeah,
find them, and they even have
at least from what I
Aquaba.
was told.
Yeah, that's the language. Like Aquaba, for example, they have that as
Mhm.
the airport, like you have in Ghanaian airport. They have
Oh,
Aquaba. They have Aquaba there. Everywhere you go is like this. Aquaba is everywhere. I'm like, okay. So the movie theater, you can see it there. So it is just it's an eye opening. You know what I mean? Like we
yeah.
go to the thing, you can have like the plantain. You know how they
Mhm.
they they do plantain on the fire. They do the same thing. They eat the plantain with the peanuts. So
Yeah.
it's just like it. You go there, you're like, okay. It just looks like Togo. It looks like
The same
Ghana.
thing, yeah. So
You know,
honestly, the like Ivory Coast, Ghana, Togo, like we really are
it's
just
just
brothers and
1 hour.
sisters.
It's an
Yeah.
hour to fly from Togo to Africos, literally. So it's just 1 hour. It's not. It's so close. So they do the
It's like
same
the
thing. Like
DMV here.
it's just
DC, Maryland, and Virginia.
married to the same people, and they're married to Togolese, and they listen to the Togolese Ghanaian music like Bobobo. I'm asking this driver, he said, I don't understand it. My wife is from Togo, but they just listen to the beat. So it's just the
Um,
same people, same people. So I'm
that's
still like
nice. I
five
gotta make my
hours
way there.
behind, and I still have not slept for 2 days. So I'm like, it's like, but I'm breathing. So I
Oh
thank God.
wow, you are well. You're doing a good job at
I'm
staying
trying.
because I wouldn't think that you
I'm
had not
trying.
had sleep. I would
I
have never
am
thought.
trying, guys. I am trying. Yesterday, so we have our coronation. So it is a
Mhm.
Iwaga Christmas party and coronation, and then fundraising. So the fundraising was supposed to be to get a portable water for people in Mepe in Ghana, because they're still
Okay.
suffering for clean water. They
From
don't
the
have clean water because of the flood. So we did that fundraising, and we did the coronation of our Tagbi and Mama, and I've been trying. So I'm gonna try and share some of these.
okay.
We live it. I know some of you have already watched it. We lived it combined with New Jersey. But on Siana TV, because we were splitting, we were sharing the feed. we were taking turns, show New Jersey a little bit and show Atlanta a little bit. You know what I mean? And then
Okay.
they will mute it, and then they'll, because they can't both be
So like it's
speaking
kind of
at the
like
same
this,
time.
like split screen. You
Split
see
screen like
Georgia
this.
on one
Yeah.
side, and
Yeah.
oh, I
That's
was
how
I
they
was
did
thinking
it.
the whole thing was just Atlanta for some reason.
Mm-mm.
Oh, that was
So
good. That
because
was
before Steve was on their side, before Steve was on the other side, and I was on the other side. So even though I was co-MCing, I have to get my son to help me
to
with
help.
the recording,
Yeah.
and then I think
Oh,
he also got his daughter to help him
help
with the.
him do it. I wonder if we're doing that because I know next weekend, DC, Dallas. I feel like Chicago. I feel like the
That
rest of the associations are having their party
they're
next
gonna be doing
Saturday.
theirs.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
DC we're having ours on Sat. Like all the like in the DC area, like all the Ghanaian associations are having their party on the 21st. Like
Uh,
the Tama Association,
mhm.
like all the 20. I mean, it's the Saturday before Christmas, so it's
Yeah.
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 Even my church, we're doing something.
Even you, everybody's
Yeah,
doing
like so. It's
something.
like it's a very busy weekend.
It
I don't
is
know
a
how I'm gonna
very
split
busy
myself.
weekend. It is a very busy weekend. So I was, honored, and I was, for to co-MC with one of our brothers, for Francis. I don't know if you know him.
Mhm.
So we co-MC it. But it is the coordination. I tried, girl. I was like, because David was doing the video, and because when I realized that it was split, I realized that there's a lot of things they won't be able to
Maybe to
see,
see. Yeah.
because they're doing commercial as well. So I'm like, oh my God,
Oh,
I wanted everything to be shown. So I had to take my phone, and I had to also record,
board it.
because I
Yeah.
wanted to go live on chatting with Nicole. I wanted to do that too, so that we don't miss anything. And girl, I cannot MC, I cannot take pictures, I cannot
No,
do
you
it
need a
by
production
myself,
team
right?
now. Yeah.
So
No,
I
like
was like,
honestly, this thing needs to be reconsidered. Like they're like, but this thing takes a lot of. You need staff. Like
oh
it
my
takes.
God. And you can't do all that by yourself. So I have to go get the young ladies. I was sitting there, I said, who needs a job? No, they all say, I have a job. I have a no one wanted to do it, just to
You know
take
what? If you
pictures.
offer money, because
Yeah,
this
I
like
did
this
not
is
offer money. I could have said I'll give you $20. I could
yeah,
have
that's what you have
tried
to
the
do.
$20.
They're not the millennials where like
No, they
we
were
were
like, I
threatened to
have
be
a job, I
beaten.
have a job. So I have to, they put one of this girl on there. She didn't have a choice. So I gave her the camera. All she was just standing there. You know how young people, she doesn't want to move. So
Yeah.
I have to explain it to her. You have to move, you have to do this. And then I have to take the camera from her. I was like, oh my God. But anyway, it was fun. It was a lot, but it was fun. We got it through. I think we raised a lot of fund. I don't know if we reached the 30,000 goal, but we haven't, just because it's yesterday. We got back like 2 in the morning, so they haven't done the
The
tabulation, so we
final.
don't know how much we have raised so far. But it was a good night. It was a good night. It was a lot of turnout. People even showed up not even invited. They were like, I'm just crashing. Can I sit? I'm like, yeah.
Oh, was there
So it
enough?
was.
I mean, I can't.
I was like, and they were not, African American. Some of they were like, I'm just crashing. I'm like, yeah, we have space, so they can crash. So
Man.
it was successful. I would think it was good. What we did, just the fundraising, that was what is most important. But the most fun, it is the coronation, because we never seen it before. The
Yeah.
coronation, we never seen it. We never done it in Iwaga before. So that was fun. So let me see, Abla, let me see if I can play.
Okay.
We're just gonna stay on, and we can share it on the screen. Let me see if this is going to work, because sometimes when I'm sharing, it doesn't look clear. So let's see.
Oh, wow.
So they were the chiefs that were invited. So these were
Oh,
the
okay. These
chiefs
are
that we invited exactly. And what we did was, how when they are coming, we normally, how they announce their names. We're supposed to have
Mhm.
announced their names, because we didn't have the name, we didn't really announce the names. So we
Mm,
had to recognize them later. So
okay.
that's how we did that. But they were chiefs that were invited, so we escorted them to sit over there, and the coordination is what I'm going to show you. Dr. Chachu was there,
Okay.
um, and his wife. So they drove from North Carolina
No
there to,
comment.
for the occasion, which was really nice.
Yeah. They've
I'm
been driving to everywhere. Like I know they're getting a lot of miles in.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure they
Yeah.
are. So the place was nice. The hall was, very good decorated.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really nice.
Yeah, it looks really nice. The decoration was good. So that's a four wheelie, obviously recognizing people.
Oh, okay.
See, that's me explaining to the girl how to. I
Giving
have
her
I have
on
to
the job
edit
training.
the whole. I have to edit this later because I'm like, I was trying to find Dr. Tachu. Okay. Okay, so a full band will come and speak, and I'll just share a little bit of Dr. Chachu, and then we're
Mhm.
gonna see the coronation, and then we can go from there. And that would just be, uh, for everybody else. Uh, Everybody will have to go to the page to watch it.
Okay. I see. Oh, for George.
So the our thing for Iwaga now is love, unity, service for sustainable growth. That is what
That's called the motto.
that's the motto for a full band for Ewaga. That is motto for us. So let me move from here and see if I can get Dr. Chachu. Girl, I did this. I edited this and I have, highlights, but unfortunately I'm trying to download it in one place. So unfortunately we have to do it this way.
That's okay.
David did a
You'll
good
get there.
job. I mean, going around and, um,
Oh, that's a nice display. Okay, you guys are fancy.
it was fancy. I mean, the food looked
Okay.
so good. I didn't taste it though. But the
Okay.
food
So what
looked
are these
really
young
good.
ladies doing?
They are the
Are-
ones who are going to lead the Mama and Dogby
Oh,
uh,
okay, so they're waiting for
for the
them.
coronation. Yeah, they were waiting for them
Okay. I,
to get ready.
I thought they were staying there the whole night. Oh, Auntie
No, no, no,
Mary.
no. Auntie Mary flew for it. She flew for it. So just and that's the Tugby's wife, Asia, the girl, the lady. This one,
Mm,
the one we just saw in red. She's right there. That's the Tugby right there. That's his wife, and Mama is there getting ready. Um,
okay. Oh, look at little. She's so cute. Oh, it reminds me of when I
uh,
was little. That's how it all started.
that's how it was started,
That's
right?
how it all
So,
started, being a kid and being dressed up to do these things.
I know. So they were getting ready for Mama over there. Let me see. Okay, Dr. Chachu is here. So okay. I'm gonna. Okay. I'm trying to. We can go to the coronation. Let me find the coronation so we can see a little bit of it. It was so beautiful. Um, you know how, we are always late.
Always, always.
Always.
Not a surprise.
We started an hour later.
Well,
Um,
that's not too bad. I
it's
mean,
not
I
too
think
bad. It is not too bad
considering
compared.
that's improvement because
That is
I think we're known
improvement.
to start 2 to 3 hours later
Two to
than.
3 hours late. Yeah, that's true.
Okay. So so since Sienna, has the group still been meeting to practice?
Uh-huh.
Because I know I'm recognizing some of these ladies from Sienna.
Oh, these are my group. The
Yeah.
group that we dance
Okay.
with. Yeah. Yeah. Except her. She's new.
Which
The
one?
one at the back. She's new. This one
The one with the
is new.
glasses in the back?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
the
don't
three
recognize
of
her, but the
them.
other three I remember them.
Yeah,
The one
yeah,
in the yeah with the long hair,
yeah.
and then the ones in the black t-shirts.
Right.
Is the volume up? Okay, it's unmuted now, right? I'm not hearing it. Oh, I remember that young lady too. She did that monologue at Sienna as well. The one with the glasses on the left.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember she did like a small little speech at the on Friday night at Sienna.
Oh, okay. I don't remember. So that's Mama's husband.
Okay. Okay.
So you got me. Okay.
Is there audio for this part?
Mm-hmm. Can you hear?
I'm,
You
I
can
don't
hear
hear
it?
the audio. Mm-mm.
Oh, really? You can hear it?
No, maybe it's,
No, it might. You hold on.
yeah, maybe. Let me check on the.
Were you listening? Were you hearing it before?
I could hear it faintly at first.
Uh, maybe because
So I
I'm
just figured,
sharing the screen.
but now that I actually, hold on, let me see.
Maybe because
So I
I'm
just figured,
sharing the screen.
but now that yeah, it's not on YouTube.
It's not on
I-
YouTube.
It's not coming on YouTube. I try to quickly listen through my phone. I can only hear us.
You mean the voice not coming through YouTube?
Oh, I stopped it. But now that I actually, yeah, no, I can hear. We can like where I can hear us.
Okay, but
I
you
didn't.
can
Yeah.
hear the audio.
No, but let me mute
Uh,
myself and play it loud because I just don't want it to play. The audio is not on the live.
okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So we really just watching. Just so
Oh, Jimmy.
so he's
Oh, so tall. Okay.
so they basically asking them, this is the job that they put in your hands. Are you going to do it? They're gonna call you at night and a day. whenever, even if it's when if it's fighting, when is there's a war, they'll call you, you're going to accept, and he will say he's accept, and then they'll sit them on the chair. They will like one time, twice, and three times. They will make them sit in the chair. So
Oh.
that's how they did it. So this means
I've heard
that
of this 3 times for Ewe weddings, like the bride is sat on the chair for 3 times, but I didn't know
three
they did it
times. I need to
for.
understand that, because that is one thing I'm going to ask my Togbi. See,
Yeah. I have a friend, Mauna, she may be willing to come on the show. She's in Ghana though, but
okay.
she does Ewe weddings. That's her specialty. Like
Oh,
she
she
only does
does. But it's
Ewe
not just a
weddings.
wedding. They do it for this too. See, so
Yeah,
they
well,
do
that's
it.
what I'm realizing now too. They do it for this as well, which
Hmm.
I never knew.
And
I
you know
thought.
they did it for, even when they were taking stool on Sienna in Sienna.
Mhm.
Remember when they were taking the stool, they put it on the head three
Oh,
times.
yeah. They did it 3 times. Okay,
They did
that's
it
true.
three
Yeah,
times.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. They did it three times. So I don't know what this is. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna ask. That is one thing we have to understand. But they did the same thing for Tugby. Now he's, did it three times, and and then the third time he sat. So anyway, so
Oh.
that is just the highlights of the night. It was a lot. I'm telling you, a lot had happened. The ladies danced. So it was good. It was good night. So
That's good.
now we're gonna talk about, our regularly program.
Scheduled program.
We need to come back to our regularly scheduled program. So we are back today. I know John, we are still waiting. John may join us, but even if he doesn't join us, we're gonna continue, and I know he's gonna come back. And guys, if you're watching us, please say hello. Let us know where you're watching from. We want to hear from you. Please share the link to everyone to subscribe to the channel, Sienna TV and Chatting with Nicole, if you have not already. Abla and I, we are here. We're just going to have a girl talk until John joins us today. We are going to talk about, the reason we are here today is to talk about, our parenting. Is our parenting a reason why some of us are still single today? Because the way we were raised, we know our African parents, the way they raised us, um, is different. It is different. It is very different. I can say that because when I first came to the state, Abla, when I go to or I watch when I'm watching a
Mhm.
show, and then you have young girls, they have boyfriends spending a night in their parents' house,
Yeah.
and then they come to the table, they eat in the same on the same table, and I
She's
see
like
my
culture shock.
culture shock,
Like in your
and
father's house? That's how y'all act in your father's house?
you know, so I see this, I'm like, what? This is unbelievable, because we are raised, there's no way in Africa, no way that you are going to be a young lady and even bring a young man in the house to even spend a night with you, spend a day with you. And I saw this, I was like, wow, this is
Yeah.
crazy.
It's
This is
definitely a
crazy.
cultural difference. And I would so like when some of the things like you'll see on social media, like there's a difference between not only the Africans how we do it, then the Black Americans, when we're in the country, and then and then the white people as well
Right,
too.
right.
And I think most people of African descent, which are African, Caribbean, Black American, most of them probably would not agree with how
No,
lenient
they
they
will
are.
not.
Some
They
of them
will
will not
not.
be as lenient. So I feel like if we had to categorize it, some white families are the most lenient.
Yes,
Then
they
it'll be
are.
Black American,
Yes.
then African. If we put it
It's
like there's
just,
other cultures there too, but with those three, the African community is very, very
yeah,
strict. Like
there we are.
yeah, so it's an ongoing I feel like topic. As I did some research too, and there's so many videos on TikTok of people talking about this where you'll like a lot of the ones the most common one is um parents expect their daughter to come back from college married after they just told them no boys, face your books, and when they graduate it's like where's your husband and your 6 kids.
Right.
So that's everyone's
That-
complaint, and that's really that is the issue. Like I think a lot of the parents, it's like they're upset that the children listen to them.
mhm.
It's like, oh, so
So
you're now they're upset that your
now
children look
you upset.
obedient.
Exactly. So now you're upset that I listened to you, but that was a problem. That's what you wanted. So you put this fear in me all these years, so and now you're saying that, I shouldn't have listened. I shouldn't have just
Basically,
that. Exactly. So it
basically,
doesn't
that's
make
basically what
sense.
they're saying now. Why did you listen to me? I
Why
didn't know
did you
better.
listen? Because now they see that it's a mistake. Now they see
Yeah.
that they were wrong. So that's why we are having this conversation, because
Mhm.
when you are growing up and then you are saying you need to stay away from boys, all you need to do is focus on your chores, your housework, or whatever. Prepare yourself till this man comes and asks for your hands. You don't even know how somebody's going to ask for your hands if you're
Yeah.
not involved, if you're not doing all of that, because we still have the old mentality where everything is arranged, or a
Mhm.
man is going to just to come before a man even talks to a girl. They have to come to the parent and say, oh, I like your daughter,
Yeah.
even before the daughter knows
That,
that,
yeah, that's true. Like the back end of the day, you could be in your room sweeping, and then tomorrow morning you're somebody's wife.
you're somebody's wife.
Yesterday
Exactly.
you were just a girl. Tomorrow you're somebody's wife. There was just like that.
Just like that. So it's not that anymore. So we are raised, and when we come here, we have this in our mind, because when we are raising, our parents are raising us to say, stay away from, boys, stay away from men. So we fear them. It's at a certain point you fear them. At a certain point you feel like if you are involving with men or boys, you are a bad girl. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
doing something wrong. You are not normal.
No,
So when
this exactly.
so you're not normal. So when you stay away from them so long to the point where, and day after day, month after month, year after year, your age is like you're getting
You know,
older and
yeah. Not
older.
only that, it's the social skills. Like there a lot of what parents think is they think it's proper parenting, and to give the benefit of the doubt, some, I won't say all,
Yeah,
some really were trying to do the best they can.
yeah,
Some were actually just not mentally well, like they shouldn't have been parents. But
yeah,
that's not the
yeah,
topic today.
yeah. That's a
But
different.
like
Yeah,
some of them are doing the best they can with what they have,
yeah,
but they don't understand that when you cage your children in, you're hindering them from developing other
right,
skills that they should be
right,
developing
right,
at certain ages. And that's what
right.
I'm seeing a lot of the people saying. So wow, our white counterparts can start dating at the age of 10 and
Which
12,
is
and then
not good. We are not
it's just not good,
condoning
because
that. Exactly.
I've seen some things that shocked me. So in my my after school job in high school, I worked
Mhm.
at this place, and I remember I was like the cashier, and this family came in, and it was like a multicultural family. I want to say it was like a white dad, Asian mom, and
Mhm.
then the kids, and then the daughter, I think she's like the firstborn, has a black boyfriend,
Mm.
and I'm just kissing
Ooh.
like the kiss is gonna finish, and just there, and I'm like, your mom and dad are here talking. Are you
Right.
okay? Like I'm
Right.
frightened for them, like literally,
Right.
because I'm 16 too. I'm like, hey, like, should I be looking at this? No problem. Like, okay, kids, you guys ready? And then they go sit down.
See?
I said, oh,
Yeah.
this is okay.
This is
Okay, we got
okay.
it. Well, as for me in my house, we don't
You
we can't even
cannot
look
do
at a
that.
boy. So it is different. Like they like for the, like I mean I worked with a girl too that they're very free. Like you said, like they'll spend the night at the house or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And this girl at work, she said, I'm hearing I'm saying this publicly, but the girl said like her and the boyfriend, they like were at the breakfast table with the mom, and then the mom was like, oh, why are you so happy? And then she's like, oh, I know why you're happy, you must have gotten some. And I
Yeah.
say,
This
and I'm
is
thinking,
a
your
mother. Yeah.
mom,
Crazy. Yeah.
your mom. And don't, this one now she's like 25, but still your mom
Still,
at
you're still
25
your
still is
mom.
like your
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, if that's how you guys are, then that's great, because I'm sure she has a great relationship with her mom too. So I won't
Yeah.
shame that.
That's
But
the relationship there. So we it is the ups and down. We know that,
mhm,
I don't condone. I honestly, I don't condone. I will not allow my daughter. I don't know. Even when we are talking about this, I still don't think I can allow my daughter at
yeah.
16, 14, even 13. You know what I mean? To bring a boy and be kissing in front of me, or a boy to spend a night with her. I
I
can't.
think those things. I don't think I ever would too. Like, I feel like
I
there's
can't.
certain things, there needs to be respect. You need to
They
respect your
needs to.
elders.
They needs
To
to.
me, I feel like that's disrespectful. Even at the wedding, they're like, close your eyes. Like, why? Like,
Right.
I'm a little apprehensive about even that happening at the wedding. Like, why do you want to publicly
What
watch
do
me
you
do
want
this?
public? Right.
Yeah,
Right.
like, I'm sorry,
So
because we already know what the honeymoon is coming next. Like, like, it's
right.
weird. Anyway, but
So but
I don't think, I feel like that is a respect thing.
yeah, I think it
I think
needs
that's
to.
I think that's a respect thing, and I think that's where there's the cultural difference too, because,
Yeah.
and I feel like this is where there's a lot of differences between us and Americans and why we do clash, because
Right.
there's some things that we show as respect that they
Hmm.
use as a way to rebel
As a way
against
to
their oppressor, right?
exactly. Exactly.
But I mean, I can only speak for, like, like Ghanaian, Togolese, like I grew up in a Christian home. I know John is also, he grew up in a Christian home too.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of respect first, and to like
Right.
kiss, even to hug someone. I don't know if you would like hug
You
in
don't
front of your,
you don't even do that. You don't even do that.
because we
You
don't
don't
see our parents give affection too. So that's the other
we
thing. It
don't
actually
see it.
starts in the home. We've never
Exactly.
seen that outside
Mm-mm.
of TV.
Yeah.
So, and that's
Yeah.
another thing that I've, like, some people are saying too, like, our parents don't show affection. So how do we also learn to develop
To develop that.
affection
Yeah.
too?
And plus
So there's
they don't show it, not just the their husbands, right? Not just between them, the parents, but the children.
the
You know what
children
I
too.
mean?
Yes.
The children too. So we don't have that. We don't share that. So it's
Yeah.
hard for us to develop that. It's hard for us to learn it. It's hard for
Yeah.
us to give it freely and enjoy that. And it's oh my God.
And
I
some
just
parents don't get it too in their mind too. Like, when their son is 16, why don't you talk to me? And they don't realize that there's a
right.
lot of things that they do. They've shut the door at a very early age with their
Yes.
kids. So there was, I was reading one girl, she said that, poor girl, she was in second grade. She was, or first or second grade. And, she had friends at school or whatever. And she had a book bag or whatever that you can tell this is her book bag. So she usually has her lunch, when she has her lunch, she brings it back. Her mom tosses everything. She said this time around, she does her usual. And then she's in her room and she just hears commotion in the kitchen. She goes to the kitchen, the whole family's there. And it's like, what is this note? And the note is from some little boy saying, will you be my girlfriend? Yes or no? And those kind of notes, they pass it around in elementary school. She said
Yeah.
from that, like, the way her dad spoke to her that day, and her mom, she's like, she's like, to this day, I've never mentioned, like, I don't talk to my dad about that.
Um,
Like, I don't bring people home because, like, she's like, I wouldn't even tell my mom I like a boy because of how they reacted
because of how they
when,
reacted, because of
yeah,
that
because,
note.
and that's happened. I mean, that's happened. There's a lot of us who have experienced, like, false
Yeah.
accusations that, like, how would I even get myself in such a situation? You don't let me out the
Yeah.
house. But,
Yeah.
like, there's a lot of people whose parents, in their mind, they're thinking that's having the conversation.
Yeah.
Because, like,
Yeah.
just to be, a lot of our parents are abrasive. Even our moms, they're not, some of them are not sweetie,
No.
type of
No.
people. Like, you do well, you bring your A, oh, you tried, instead of saying, oh, I'm proud of you. But
I'm
that's
proud of
their
you.
way of saying, I'm proud of you.
I'm proud
To
of
some,
you.
some
Yeah.
of them, that's what they, oh, that's me saying I'm proud of you. But because
But
that's
you
how
need
their
to
parents
say it
showed them
exactly.
affection too.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
It is so funny. I don't even think, even I, if David can be honest, I'm sure he's gonna say the same. He's gonna accuse me on this same thing you
oh
just. I'm
no.
sure he's going to accuse me. If he can, he probably can accuse me of that, because sometimes and I have to give it to the parents as well. Where we come from, life has not been easy for us, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
where we come from, it is difficult, and we've seen things in our young age. Things happen to us. We don't want it to happen to our young, children, our young ladies. So when we are doing this, we're kind of protecting them in a way. We are trying to protect them at the same time, not thinking about, you know, now we are not back home. We
you're right.
are in different environment, and they are seeing other things with their friends. They are seeing the way the relationship and everything else with, their friends, and on TV, social media, and everything. But we are doing this in our mind. This is the love. We are showing them
Yeah,
love. We are protecting them, but it is negative effect on them,
yeah,
and we don't see it. So I have to understand that. And if we don't talk about it, you don't know. We don't talk about it, you don't know, because we have young ladies today that will be doing it in hiding. They will have a boyfriend or somebody
yeah,
they like, but they don't want the mother to know, the father to know. But they are going to be having these conversations, these things in hiding. They're going to be lying to them. I'm going to, Susie's house. but then they're going to be doing all of that because they don't want
Yeah.
the parents to know. It's this is a huge thing, and
Yeah.
we are not here to say that it's just African parents. You are to blame. We are blaming you for being the reason why we are not married today. My
We're
heart,
blaming. I'm blaming. I think a lot of us are blaming. I don't know
all
whether
of
people are,
us.
but a lot of us are definitely blaming
We are
because they don't,
okay.
because a lot of, like, so remember, like last episode we said, like for men, they're always like, don't cry, that's for a girl, don't, that's not being a
Right.
man, but they're not taught how to be a
Mm-mm.
man.
A man.
So for the girls too, you don't do that. You don't close your legs. Don't talk to boys. Don't talk to
Right.
boys. That's it. That's because that's literally all my dad said. Like, don't talk to boys. They don't. They only want one thing, but they didn't teach us how to navigate them. So then how should I, how should I speak with a boy, or how should I not? Like,
Right.
fortunately for me, I feel like I was very observant. So there's just like, you're not gonna talk to me this way, and I'm not gonna
Yeah.
accept that. But
Right.
it's not everyone. Like some people, they go to college and that's officially their first taste of freedom.
Yeah.
And unfortunately they get swindled,
Right.
they get taken advantage of and
Right.
manipulated because
Right.
they're now behind their peers. Their peers are
Right.
actually now have,
Right.
they got the social, the social experience. They
Mm-hmm.
know what it is. They know how to ask a girl out. They know what to say, this, that, and the third. And then you're coming in from, from
Yeah.
high school. Oh, college. Okay.
Right. Right.
You're going to meet all, everything's perfect. And next
Yeah.
thing you know, you're heartbroken, or you're
Right.
pregnant,
Or
or
you're
whatever
pregnant.
the case,
Right.
or
Mm-hmm.
you got laced by drugs and now you've
Right.
lost your mind.
Mm-hmm.
So all different kinds of things happen. So it's done more harm than good. Like we can't
Then
give them a
good.
pass. Like we can
I agree.
acknowledge that, parents, and this is going to go on for generations, to just as
It is.
technology and things are
It
changing,
is. It
this is
is.
always going to be a conversation, but
It
we
is.
can acknowledge that the parents didn't do well with this part, but they
Yeah.
tried. Like it's because of how they were brought up.
Right. Right. Right.
So
They were
that,
using the experience. They because of who they were, what they have seen.
yeah,
But they have to understand that things has changed.
yeah,
It is, things are not the same anymore, and we are not living in a in the back
yeah.
then is
And then you're not
over.
even living back home, because if you're
No, we
coming
are
from
not even
home
back home.
and then
Exactly.
you're raising your American child too, there's a
Right.
whole other layer
There's
of
a
this
whole
disconnect.
there is a disconnect. So we have to understand that. So when you parents, when you tell us to close our legs, you're not supposed to look this way, you're not supposed to talk to boys, and then we carry that with us. We carry that because we're fearful. We carry this, and then we're not looking for boys. You see other men, other girls at work, or when you're doing internships or at
Yeah, you
school,
meet
and you
people.
just staying to yourself. You just staying to yourself because you are used to this thing that is embedded into you. By the time you realize you graduated, you finish, you have everything, you have a home, you have everything, but there's no husband because you've been
Mhm.
fearing this husband. You've been closing your legs. I'm not saying open your legs for every man, but you've been closing. You are so close up, and you are so fearful. Now it is time. Now your time is ticking. Now your mother is coming like, where's the husband? Why
Yeah.
are you not married? Why are you not going out? Why are you, but you told me not to. You told me not to.
Yeah, you told me not to,
So
like, you told me,
you told me I shouldn't do it.
not
So
even told me, you wouldn't let me go out to go and meet the
and
people.
you the
For me,
people.
for me, I couldn't go anywhere. So it's just like, you didn't even let me go out to even see people, or let them, so they know I'm even existing too. So I don't know
Right,
what
right, right,
you want.
right. So we just come to a point where now we are looking like, what do we do now? So it's like you have to learn and you have to go back, and
Yeah.
what do you even believe? And then the parents, the worst part of this thing is they some of them don't think that, they don't even take credit. They don't, I don't even know if I should call it credit. It is a credit. They don't even say, oh, I messed up. I
Oh, they
think this
won't.
is
They
the
would never.
reason.
Not the old
No,
generation,
this is
especially.
no, you're not gonna say that. And we're not teaching. So we have to teach, especially, I know now we are older, we are learned, we know now, we're gonna figure out how we can get this. But the younger people, we are doing this because of the younger people now, the young
Yeah.
boys and young girls, especially young girls that we have now. We have to think about it differently. We have to raise them differently. we
Yeah.
have to we have to think about the environment that we are in. We have to think about, this is 2024.
Yeah.
We are not saying tell your children to go bring boys and sleep in a house. That's not what we are saying. Instead of telling them stay away from boys, close your legs, teach them. Why are you saying this thing?
Yeah.
Why are you saying this thing? How do they speak? How do they approach? What is important? What do they look for? What
Yeah.
do they look
Like,
for in
ask
men?
questions. A lot of parents
Ask
won't, they'll just
questions.
say no, and they won't try to ask questions
That's it. No
about,
is
like,
no.
I think that's the first part. Like, ask questions and be open-minded, because
Right.
you have to be open-minded, you ask questions. At least, okay, who's your friend? Let them
Mm-hmm.
come to the house so you
Right.
see
Let's
them.
get to know
Talk to
them.
them. The way basically the same way we do it culturally. Okay, who are
Right.
your parents? What's your father's
Right.
name? What does he do?
Right.
It literally is the same thing. So it's actually not like they don't know how to do it. They just think you
They
only
do
do it
know.
at the knocking.
Right.
And
Right.
you don't. So, like, now that we're actually talking through it, it's like they do everything at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, I would say different cultures, they spread it out. The
Mm-hmm.
knocking is, okay, you come to the house. And then, okay, this is your little friend. You observe their behavior. That way you
Right.
can also help your child. Like, you see these
Right.
characteristics. These are characteristics that you should not be
Exactly.
interested in. Or you
Right.
see how he opens the door for you.
Right.
That's what you should be. That's all you
Right.
should be
Right.
accepting. If he's not opening
Right.
the door for you, get rid of them. Like,
Right.
and a lot of people have said that, and you know what? There's a young lady who she was just sharing with me that her mom, like her basically her she has a friend, a male friend, that both their moms basically go with them, like or they take them to go meet out somewhere. So I wouldn't say like they take them on a date, but like
Right.
it's the four of them. Like, they'll go to maybe
Okay.
Chick-fil-A or like a little restaurant, and they'll all get to know each other.
Okay.
And so she was like, I really don't like that. I'm like, listen, let me tell you, some of us were caged in our house, like literally in a cage in the house in the corner. Like, if
Right.
it wasn't going to the store to go buy, 10 tomatoes, we were not going
You're not
outside. So
going
the fact
anywhere,
that, so I was just letting her know, I was like, I was like, you may not appreciate it now, but you'll
but you
appreciate it
will.
later. Your mom
Right.
will be able to help you navigate this thing. So instead of,
Right.
you getting yourself into trouble or heartbroken, your mom can probably, point some things out. And
Right.
it's still up to you to listen, but she'll at least you there. A lot of people don't have any kind of
No,
guidance,
they don't.
and men end up with bad women, and women end up with bad men, and
Right.
things happen. I mean, some people, they get lucky, but if there were better guidance, people wouldn't be in such like
People wouldn't.
there
No.
was a situation I read. The girl said that her parents had basically she was in a very abusive engagement. They didn't make it to the marriage. And then
Mm-hmm.
the parents came and took her out of it, and they're like, why did you let this happen? And she was like, what do you mean? You guys beat me and told me that was love.
Oh, see?
So she was like, you guys were beating me, and I thought, like, when somebody's beating you, that's an expression of love. So I was like,
Right.
okay, see. So we also have to be mindful of how we discipline the
We have
children
to.
too, and
Yeah.
how they internalize that.
Right. Right. Let's see. Let's see. I think John says something. Let me we are
Okay.
47 minutes. Let's just take a quick break. Let's take a quick break and then we'll be back.
Okay.
So, guys, thank you very much. You are joining us here. We are chatting here with Abla. We had a recap of Saturday, well, yesterday. We had a recap of yesterday's show, not show, but yesterday coronation and then fundraising and Christmas party for Sienna. We shared that a little bit, but it is on Sienna TV. I want you guys to check it out. And I have another version on Chatting with Nicole, pictures and stuff out there. You can also check it out. It is very beautiful what happened yesterday. So we did that. And then we came back, obviously, to talk about, whether our parenting are to blame for some of us who are still single at 40 something at this point. So that's what we are discussing right now. But I want you guys to share this with everyone. Subscribe to the channels, like I said, and please share the link with somebody, because this is important. We need to help out young generation.
Yes.
We need them to do better. We want them, we want their life to be easier than ours. We don't want them to be
Right.
sitting
We're
there
trying to
at
just clear the
45.
path for them. Yeah. Let's just
Let's clear the
let's
path with them.
pave the way so that way they
Hey,
can
there
walk
you
down
go.
this way a little easier.
A little
Like,
easier. We don't want them to be 45 here and having the same conversation on chatting
yeah.
and on
Because that's
Afri-Culture
another
right
thing too.
here.
Our parents, they want us to inherit struggle. Like the older
We
generations,
don't
they want
exactly.
everyone
We
to
do
struggle.
not
Like,
want that.
because I suffer, you also have to
You,
suffer.
but some of
That is
them.
the mentality. We got to come back to that one. That's the mentality.
But the thing is, some of them, even though this is exactly what they're doing, but they don't know that's what they're doing. You know what I mean? Because if they don't teach us, if they don't pave the way, if they don't make this, they are putting us in this struggle without even knowing that they're putting us in the struggle.
Yeah.
So what you just said right now, they don't know they're doing that. They don't know that they are allowing us to struggle. In reality, when you struggle, you don't want your child to struggle. You want them to do better. You want their life to be better than yours.
As
But
you would,
when we,
that you would think. That's what you
you
would
would
think.
think,
But some
so
parents, they think, there's some people, I wouldn't say for the dating aspect, but just like struggle as far as like, having to, not saying that you shouldn't have to, I don't want to say the wrong thing, because I know someone's going to be like, oh, I'm a spoiled American, but there's some struggles we don't have to experience. Like
right,
there's some hardships some parents
we can
actually,
avoid.
yeah, you can avoid, that they don't need to experience,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
they think that's going to build them, and instead it
yeah,
rather traumatizes them. And it's
yeah,
like, it's not
yeah.
it doesn't that struggle is not something that they need to experience in
They need
America.
to, yes. And the thing
Especially if
is,
you've experienced it, so that way your level 10 should be their level 1. It's not like,
right,
okay, you go start at my level 1 too. No, you're at
yeah.
10, so we start from 10 and
We
go up
start
from
from
there.
10. We need to be getting up. We're not supposed to be going backward. We can't
Yeah.
go backward. And some people will like, I want you so that when you get through this and you're gonna be like me, then you
And then
can
you'll
build up
appreciate
and
it.
no, you will appreciate it. It is not. We need to change the mentality. We need to change
Yeah.
the way that we are raising our children, we are teaching our children, because it's hurting them. Because not everybody is, the mind and heart that you have. Not everybody. Your child may not have that. Your child may be,
Yeah. And that's another
sensitive.
thing too, parents sometimes don't teach, from sheltering them too. A lot of people don't know that people don't have the same heart as you.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
So people are not thinking like,
They're not
with
thinking, no,
a maybe like a good mindset,
no,
especially for the Christian boys and girls. We know that, we're kept kind of like under a thumb of some sort,
right.
and you're not told, hey, like we're told about worldly things, but you're not really told, hey, the day-to-day people you're interacting with, they're not honest people.
They're
Like
not
they're
honest
not good
people.
people. They don't think like you. And
Right.
that's an element some parents also don't teach their
No,
children, especially
no.
when they're sheltering them.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's we have to think twice. We have to think outside the box. We want them to learn. Yes. We
Yeah.
want them to be prepared. Yes. We want them, but not the way we are saying, oh, just go through it. You have to
Yeah.
be where I was. No, they don't have to do that
We
because
can honestly, we can use our how we do the traditional marriage.
mm-hmm.
Honestly, you can use that and make it age appropriate, from 6, 10, 15, even 20, and then
Teach them.
20, like repeat the story, but you have to change the elements as to what you're telling them about.
Right.
Especially like as a child, they only need to know about, this is what will happen when they get older. When they're
Mm-hmm.
old enough, they do a knocking, you go and do the bride price, you do this. After the bride price, okay, you go do the traditional marriage. After the traditional marriage, you come home with the baby. Make it, simple. And then you start to,
Yeah.
you start to put in the age appropriate
Yes.
explanations, and then explain, because honestly, I didn't know the whole, like, I had gone to engagements growing up as a child, but I never knew the actual whole story and the meanings behind everything till I was an adult.
Mm.
And I feel like that's another thing that a lot of girls, there's even some American girls who have experienced some things, but like how to be respected. Like if you
Yeah.
teach that over the years, you'll learn that you can't settle for less, right? There are
Exactly.
girls who have more children for men and they've never even been on a date with men.
No. No.
They
No.
have never even gone on a date. The guy
Plenty.
has never even
Plenty.
spent money on them to eat, but they
Yeah.
have carried a
They
child,
have carried a child.
labored, and birthed them for them.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And if we teach them these things about, okay, this is like, I know some people see it as being bought, but honestly, if you really look at how we do things, we're doing it correctly.
Yeah.
Like, you know your value, like the role you play in this family, your family. Like if we just explain it and use that to teach, because you can use that to teach how to date. I really think you can
You
use that.
can
I will.
use that. I am telling you, you
I
can
will.
definitely use that. You can use that because right now we have all these people, like you were saying, all these young men or young girls. Let me just focus on young girls who
Mhm.
have been hurt and have gotten pregnant, came back and broken. All of
Yeah.
these. If they knew, this is what I kept saying. I talked about this on chatting on the call. If they knew the value that they have, if we can just use this and then embed it into our young children and use them, just the asking of a hand, like you were saying, the knocking, if we can teach them this, imagine our young people, the value they'll have for
That,
themselves. Even
even the
they'll
guys too. Like, hey, when you go and
and
approach a
because
woman,
the young girl is going to tell them, they're going to teach them. Even the young boys, parents, young men, young fathers for your young men, if you can teach them these values, imagine they're going to respect these girls, they're going to do what they're supposed to do. And if the girls knows the value that they have, come on, we are
yeah,
going
and
to
you'll be able to
reduce these.
spot the ones who are coming from broken homes
Right.
and all
You're
these
going
things
to be able
real,
to
real
spot it.
quick.
Because
real
people,
quick.
you have young men and young boys, they'll come in and they're like, oh, I don't listen to my mother, and calling their mother, their parent names, but you
Yeah.
are with
And then
them.
some girls are like, oh, he's just hurt. He's like,
Right.
no,
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 it
that's a
is not.
problem. Why? What happened in that household that he's behaving that way?
Right.
Do some more research or get out
Right.
of that.
So we have to embed it. If we can embed our just basic tradition that we have, if we can teach our children, that our young ladies, that we're going to reduce the number of pregnancies that will bring it in the house, the broken hearts that will bring it in the house, and even all this like moving from one man to another man, and just going and doing and giving yourself and spending too much time with men we call, they will say useless, with the same man for ages and doing all of this. If we can embed this kind of value and let them know where we come from,
Yeah.
I think it will solve a lot of things.
But you
Because
know what? You said something where it almost goes back to what we were talking about the last meeting, like where men are not being taught how to be men.
mm-hmm,
And the emphasis for these things is always on the weight of the girl. But then this, even the like making broken homes, going from man to man, that's still sometimes the man manipulating things. So this is where this thing needs to be focused on
it
the
needs to
boys a
be
little bit
focused.
more.
Yeah, yeah.
They needs to be focused on because I will say this, at least back home, because I didn't grow up back home, but let's say just back home, if you grew up with a lot of women as a child, most likely you were probably already involved with the engagement process at some point. Maybe
Mm-hmm,
you're the decoy bride, maybe you have to carry the things on it.
right,
So you're in it a bit more. So you might know or understand a bit more than the boys are, but the boys are
right,
usually, okay, go and play, go and carry firewood, go come and do this,
right,
go and bring the drinks. They are clueless to what's going on.
right.
So we really need to actually hammer it into the men
Into
more,
the man, it
because
has
they're
to
the
be
ones that are
both.
disrespectful. Because remember, we said that they don't know how to speak to women. They
Yeah,
don't know how to approach women. They come off. They don't even realize they're actually sexually harassing
they
most
don't
women
know. Yeah, they don't
because,
know.
and it's only because of again. Well, you know what? It goes back. It's hand in hand because it goes back to some women not respecting themselves and allowing a man to disrespect them.
And it goes back
So it's
to,
just a
so if
vicious
you
cycle.
exactly, so if we don't teach them, if they don't learn, if the young ladies do not learn, they don't know the value that they have, they don't know what to expect, they don't know that they are worth the respect. If they don't know
Mhm.
their worth, that's how they are going to allow this to be happening. If they
Yeah.
don't know how they're supposed to respect a man, then they will be doing what they are doing.
Yep.
So it is not going to be just a man. We have to embed this tradition, our culture,
Yeah.
what we know, the respect, we have to embed in both ways. Because if we do it, then when they meet, you understand, you already know what
Yeah.
to expect from this side, and this side already know what to expect. So it makes things easier,
Easier.
because
Yeah.
we have young girls right now, they're not all they looking at it, probably the face of the guy, the
And the
house that
car they
they're
drive.
living in, the car that they're driving, the what he's wearing physically, his parents, his job, how light skinned he is. That's all they're looking at. Honestly, that's all they're looking at.
Yeah.
They're not looking at where he's coming from, his
Yeah. What
home,
kind of
his
family? How was he
parents,
brought
what kind
up?
of family. We're not looking at all of that. So it is up to us to teach them, to teach our children. This is how it's supposed to be. This is
Be
what you're
done.
supposed to look for. And this is how we're supposed to teach our young man. This is what you're supposed to treat a lady.
Do.
This is how
Yeah.
you're supposed to do. So if we don't do all of this, that's why we see all this mess. That's why we
All
are
these
in this
the gender
situation.
wars and all they're talking about the these, what is it, the Kevin Samuels people and all
It's
those
crazy.
crazy things. Yeah.
It is crazy. So we just, all we are saying is, parents, we are just saying that we need to be open minded. We need to think. We need to change. We have to change our
Mhm.
mentality. We have to change the way we are seeing our young women and young
Yeah,
men.
man.
We need to raise them. The Bible says, raise them, and they will never raise them the way they should go, and they will never
Yeah.
depart from it. Even the Bible say that. So it's up to us to raise them the way they're supposed to go, and they will not depart from it. Because when you embedded them, even if they, no matter what degree, no matter how high they go, it is never going to leave.
Yeah.
They are going to respect this woman. Even the woman, if they are millionaires and this woman is nothing, she doesn't have anything, they will respect this woman. And this
Yeah.
woman, the same thing, no matter where she comes from, no matter how the man looks, she will respect this woman if we
Yep.
embedded this into them, because that is the basic. That is the basic. We're looking at it as, oh, it's Africa. and it's too much. All of this, and I'm telling you, the education that we have, Abla, I'm telling you, if we can embed it into our children,
Yeah.
this culture that we call culture, if we can embed it into our children,
We'll be
it
in a
is
better
going to say
place.
it will be in a better place.
Be in a better place.
We'll
Yeah.
be in a better place. We're
Like
gonna
even
take a quick.
honestly, our parents too, because some of it too is, marrying the right spouse. How is your dad treating your mom? And how's your mom
Right.
treating your dad? And you pick up, you copy those behaviors as well too. So it's a lot. It's a
It's a
lot to
lot.
look
It's a lot.
into.
Let's take a quick break. I do want to read this article. I don't know if you watched the show last time with Togby, but I want to read this for us
Okay.
to just to see, because I feel like this is a show where we should have thousands of people watching right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's a lot
We
of
got to do
things
like a
that
part 2 and 3. And bring like it
we
needs to be a conversation with other like parents of different generations actually come
we
in.
need exactly.
Yeah,
So
like the
we need to have
grandparents.
this.
Yeah.
Even the
Like especially
grandparents
for
is
those in
part of it.
America, those who are older, like maybe like my mom's age range, and
Yeah.
then like the new age parents who like the parents of like the adults, the people who have 20-year-olds, teenagers, and then
Right.
babies.
And then
Those
babies.
different parents
They
and
all
and
needs
then
to hear
speak to each
this.
other about their experience about raising a child in America too. And because everyone is figuring it out, because it's not like back home. What your mom did in Keta is not going to work
It's not gonna
in
work here.
Atlanta, Georgia.
It is not.
It's not going to work. It's
It
not the
is not
same
gonna
thing.
work. Let's take a quick break, and we're gonna come back and listen to this and read this and see what you think about this.
You are welcome to Sienna 2025. Come and have a unique experience in Dallas, Texas.
Ago Nanya Pete Milemia Pe Bemifa 32nd Annual Sienna Convention Le Dallas Fort Worth.
Dallas, Dallas, Dallas. Big D. Mifa, Yapa Pong Tepe.
Aha. Sienna 2025. Mano Bobo Edolo. Mifa Midwaza. We want me at the Cornwall Friday evening. Sunday, me our picnic. Me our church service. And all the Zanzazata Miniva.
Tata nyo play before you, mi do bonso anamilo. Mi do bonso anami akpata, mi de kukuna mi be mi klo mi ape famille ovalo. Mi klo mi ape famille o mi afa po Dallas da. Mi ado azan. Azalo.
Azase.
Azale kongbe.
Azale wow.
So I am every time I'm hearing this commercial, there's the lady that on the other side. I need to meet her when I go to Dallas. One of the lady, one of the lady, the way she talks is like one of it in Lomé, one of the my side, the north side, the way her accent, the way she speaks. I need to meet her and say she's Cableto. Hey, she's Cableto. Where she's I need to find her because her accent makes me laugh all the time when she say me valo me plum me family over. It's always it makes I want to find
You
out
gotta
what she
invite her on the show. Like maybe she should come and promote Dallas and then
maybe
learn about that area too.
and learn about that area. I swear to. I think she's from Togo, and I want to
Oh
know
yeah,
that
definitely like
she's from the
yeah.
north side. I think she's listening to me. Somebody's listening to me. You know I'm right. She's from the north.
VP2 would able to confirm that for us for sure. So we'll have
Yeah,
to ask
somebody
him.
needs
If
to
he's tuned in, he'll
confirm
have to
that.
let us know.
Because her accent makes me laugh all the time because that's how the accent is in the north side. But this thing I'm trying to share, this article that I'm trying to share, this is an old article, and it's saying how, where is it? It is right here. I'm gonna share it in a minute, but it's talking about how this white folks back then, 1918, they were trying to take our culture away from us because they understood that our culture is what makes us who we are. You know what I mean? That is, and when I read this thing, when Tugby sent this to me, and I read it, I just have I just have shivers. I'm listening. I'm reading this. I'm like, I can't believe this. This is what we are here today. We are here literally like here trying to tell our children, keep our culture, saying that we want to keep our culture. We want this to not to die. We want to save this. We want to keep this. We want our children not to forget where they come from. And this is what white men have been trying to do, take away from us since day one.
I mean, from not tried, they've successfully
they did. That's why we're
did.
struggling today, right?
Yeah,
That's
they actually
why
did.
struggling today.
Yeah.
A white
Because
man,
if not, then there wouldn't be a difference between our brothers and sisters here and us back home. They did. It was the first thing they did.
That and we fell for it, right? So now we know better. Before, I would say that they did not know. I would say that I'll give it to our ancestors saying they didn't know. They didn't know, but now we know. Now we know. So why are we still allowing this to happen? You know what I mean? So now we know. Why are we still have to force our culture on our own? Why do we still have to force for us to practice and to learn our own culture?
Yeah.
This thing that is so rich, this thing that is a gold. Why are we forcing ourselves on us?
Yeah.
It's just amazing. It is amazing. I was reading this and Thugby was on a call and I was like, it was only one person watching. I say, Thugby, I am feeling like, I feel like billions of people are supposed to be watching this right now, and just listening to this right now. Because it is just that.
Well, but that's the power of the internet. We can still share it with a billion people.
You can still
get the word regardless. Whether this is going to be here for until you delete it. So
it's never going.
The word
to go
it's
away.
recorded. We can get the word out.
You have to get the word out. So it is so important that we encourage. So parents, we are just encouraging you. We just want you. We want our children to be better. We want them to have a better life. We want them, this struggle with men and, all of this gender issues, we want them to have less problem. We want their life to be easier than ours. So we cannot do it on our own. We need you and you have to do it. You know what I mean? We are not here to tell everybody or anybody how to raise their kids. We are not, because we can't do that. But
some people actually they need it. We say we can't, but some people they do need to be told. I think we actually have to change that narrative.
That is definitely a different topic.
Some people need to be told.
Some people
for the sake of the future. Yeah, some people
do because they having children is not what they it's not their thing.
Because I mean, this is another. But some people just had children because that's what they were supposed to do. That was just expected of them.
Yeah.
There are a lot of, and this is probably why some people don't know how to date, because their parents were just like, we were just told that's the next thing to do. We didn't know how to, like, they probably truly didn't have an interest in having children. They just, okay, that's the next thing you do.
They just have to, because that's what is expected.
Yeah.
From everybody.
And this is probably why there's some people who don't know how to date, because they're just doing what's expected. And that's there's so many different variables as to why this really could be.
And there are so many. And we can't cover all. We can cover all. All we can do is just to remind us, because sometimes, Abla, sometimes we do things we really don't know. And our children are not telling us because they don't feel confident enough to tell us. They're hiding.
And that's the number one problem. They just don't feel comfortable talking to their parents. No. Yeah, they shut the door.
I'm telling you, I hear things. Young people tell me things, and I'm like, you tell your parents? No,
they
they can't. And you can't really, this is confident. They tell you this. You really can't go and start saying these things, right? So you have to ask permission sometimes. Sometimes you have to find a different way to talk to their parents about this, because you don't want them to feel like, oh, they didn't trust me enough and they go and talking to me about somebody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, because they don't want that. They feel hurt when they see their children talking to somebody else, but that's supposed to be encouraging. If your child talking to somebody else, that's a good thing. That's why white folks will take their children to, a psychologist, talk to somebody, a shrink,
someone. Yeah, like they created the means, but like they'll exhaust their means to like I want my child to talk to me. So
they'll do everything. So we have to do that. So. Abla, this is the article, right? I'm gonna read it slowly so that even if you don't speak English, you can read it. Anybody who does not speak English. So this says that I have traveled across the length and breadth of Africa, and I have not seen one person who is a beggar, who is a thief, a thief, such wealth I have seen in this country. So I have traveled across the length and breadth of Africa, and I have not seen one person who is a beggar, who is a thief, such wealth I have seen. I have seen in this country such high moral values, people of such caliber that do not think we would ever. He said, okay, let me do this again.
Yeah.
He said that such high moral values, people of such caliber that I do not think we would ever conquer this country unless we break the every backbone, the very, unless we I'm doing this and I'm thinking, I'm shaking, right? It's like, unless we break the very backbone of this nation, which is her spiritual and cultural heritage, therefore, I propose that we replace her old and ancient education system, her culture. For if the Africans think that all that is foreign and English is good and greater than their own, they will lose their self-esteem, their native culture, and they will become what we want them, as truly dominated nation.
Wow.
This is February 2nd, 1835.
Jeez. They knew what they were
1835.
doing.
The English
Yeah,
pyramids.
they came in with a plan.
They came in with a plan.
They came in with a plan, and we were probably just being, oh, humble, oh, my brother, you're welcome, and then stab us in the back.
They had a plan, and they still do today.
Yeah.
And we're allowing them today.
Because we're
You know
still
what I mean?
we're still, I don't want to say that, I don't want to use the word too humble. It's a culture thing, because we come from a place where we respect first. And even and you can even go back to being biblical, the turn of the other cheek. Like,
Yeah.
you'll be turning the other cheek, turn it like till it's red. And I was like, there's a point where you have to put your foot down. And that's the thing I feel like
this
do.
is something we continue to do this, because today, Abla, if I go, this is when I went to Senegal, right? White folks has taken so much. We are actually allowing them, selling it to them.
Yeah.
We are selling our lands. We are selling our countries. We are giving it to them this for the sake of money. We have white folks mistreating our own in our own country, in our own Africa.
Oh yeah.
Girl, we have white folks mistreating our own people in
on their own soil,
backyard.
Your own soil. They carried their nonsense, brought it to your house, and came
brought
to
it to your
disrespect
house, and
you
you
in your
allowing
house.
them, and you are actually respecting them to do it. You are respecting them for doing it. So that's why I get so angry when I see these things. I say, there's no way we can allow a white man and come to our country. We sold there are certain area in Senegal, they sold the beach area to white folks. Black men, we can't go there.
You can't go there.
You cannot go there. Because it's
so
private
who can
property.
So it's a white only. It's only a white only
establishment. It is their property. It's become a private property in our own country. So when I read this, it is
that's
not
okay.
A racist.
They better build their own hospital on that land, because when you get sick, don't come and bother us. That's what I would say.
I'm sure they can do it.
Everything needs to be there. They better get on their own plane too.
So people from Liban, oh my God, everywhere they like the pastries, everything, and we think that, I don't even understand it. So white man has planned. This is like, I'm sure they started even way before 1835.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, they definitely.
So they have planned to destroy us, to take away our this education system, they call it. This is our culture. That they knew that it was the backbone. They knew, they discovered this long time ago.
They knew that's what makes us thrive.
Who we are.
They know that's what makes us who we are. It makes us the royals that we always been.
And that's why they said they have to find, and they did. And we're allowing them. And see, that's why I'm saying, I wish that there are millions of people watching. We are saying these things, and it's just you and I, Abla. We are not famous. We are not this. We are just saying this. But what we are saying here it is important. We need our children. We need our young children to know, and we need them to know the motive.
We just have to keep having the conversation. We're starting it now. We just got to make sure that we like, it's, we can't say we have to also do something too.
Right.
So like, we're already like, so you say you wish, but like, we have to like tell people, if we keep having the conversation, we never know who will impact.
Who's going to get in some. And
so don't let this be the only time that you do, and you're like, oh, I wish there were more people. No,
this is live now. This is live now. So when I'm saying I'm wishing whoever is on this call, you're going to share it with somebody. You're going to talk to somebody. You're going to hear somebody. We need to know that the motive that these people have for us, we are allowing it. We are making it easy for them, and we can't do that. We cannot let our culture die. We cannot let our culture be broken, be taken away
for a
dollar. Because right now we are forcing you to adapt your culture. We don't have to do that. We shouldn't have to do that. That's why I was kind of feeling certain way when we had the white ladies dance for us in Denver. You know what I mean? So, there are certain things that are just for us. It's not discrimination thing. It is just something that it is for us, and they have taken enough from us. You know what I mean? They have taken enough. So I just feel like
it's time for us to start gatekeeping some things. I feel you. Like
it's not something.
I think we've shared enough. Some of it has been taken from it. Like we've been robbed, and then we continue to share.
We continue to share.
Keep what you've taken and let us keep what ours, and we don't share anymore. Like honestly, I think there's a point.
How do you
we need to stop sharing and focus on ourselves in Africa. We need to build a border. We only share amongst ourselves here within Africa. Build ourselves up, and then maybe we can think about inviting the outsiders again. But I think we need to be
inviting them, and it's okay for them to visit. Sometimes there was one of my niece when we went to one of the countries, and they were like, and she's like, I just, Tanti, I am so angry when I see white folks traveling and coming. Are they laughing at us, or they feeling sorry for us? Why are they here? You know what I mean? The tourists.
So she sees them laughing.
No, she's asking, are they here making fun of us? Why are they here? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's true. Sometimes you never really know the true motive.
They are traveling. You were on a plane. It's many of them. Many white folks. And because again, they are there, they are making business, they are making money, and we are allowing them to do. So she was asking me, why do they come? Do they come to gloat and say, oh, we succeeded what we wanted? Or do they come to really, do they feel sorry for us? She was trying to ask me a question. Do they feel sorry for us? Why do they really come? Why are they here? Why are they? It's many of them. Many.
At the end of the day, it's probably for, well, I wouldn't say for majority. I wouldn't say all, but for a larger percentage.
They just want to.
It's curiosity, and for their own. It's even for their own accolades, because even when they say they're coming to help, it's only for themselves to look good. Because that's another thing that's a controversy too, is like people will go to to anywhere and back home, whether it be Ghana, Nigeria, and let's say they go to the village, then they'll take pictures like, oh, I oh, look at this small boy, or I gave him a dog. Oh, look at this little boy, he didn't have shoes, and blah 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 or whatever, and I'm such a great person because I did this. And don't get me, some people, they're genuine, they truly are genuine when they say that.
Some people do.
But I don't know if you remember a couple this is a few years back, a woman was talking about the cathedral they're trying to build in Ghana. I might have this part wrong, but there's something they were building in Ghana. It's like either the cathedral, or I think it was a cathedral. And this white woman was on some interview, I don't know if it was BBC or whatever it was, and then proceeded to tell people like if you see all the homeless tents on your way to this cathedral, and they're just homeless people scattered throughout the city. I'm like, what's it? First of all, the homeless people that I know sleeping on tents are actually lined out outside of the White House.
And right here. They're right here.
And I'm in DC, so I'm telling the truth. I have to drive by the White House every day. They are sleeping outside of the White House in tents. Okay, rats are crawling over them. It's not like they, and so like painted this picture like she was a savior of some sort, like how all these homeless people, that people are struggling. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to be ignorant,
people
but
do.
The picture
and
she
there's
painted,
a struggle everywhere. No,
there's a struggle everywhere. Right? Everyone's doing good. But the picture that she painted, and that's the thing that America tends to do, and this is why I feel like there's another disconnect between us in America, at least maybe for me being born here, and then family back home, where they only, like, instead of getting to know me, they think they know me through media. Of what Americans are about, right? So they think my pockets are overflowing and things like that. But at the end of the day, America paints this picture where, oh, there is no poverty here.
Right.
You're not alone. Like everything is, and there is poverty. The
Mhm.
same hardship you have in Ghana, that
We
hardship
have it here.
is here.
Mhm.
The hardship that's in Togo, that same
It's
hardship
still,
is still
yep,
here.
yep.
There's unemployment in Togo. There's
Then
unemployment in
unemployment
America.
here. Yeah,
There's hunger there's hunger
there's
here too.
hunger here. It's
Like
amazing.
you're not like,
It's
and a
amazing.
lot of people here are one paycheck away from sleeping on the street. So it's
Right.
not the big picture. It's not this rosy picture
It is not.
that America true, because if you're not equipped with financial intelligence, the 90 Day Fiance, I don't know if you've been watching the 90 Day Fiance. There's a
No,
Ghanaian
no,
girl on it now.
no.
Long story short, there's a gentleman that's trying to marry this Ghanaian girl. He had been complaining about the bride price. The bride price was really like $200.
Mm.
But he's complaining about this. Come to find out, this man came to Ghana when he just lost his job and had $100 in his bank account. He does not have financial management, and that is something, or financial intelligence, and that is he's also autistic. So that's for his own developmental delays. But as Africans, you need some financial education before
Yeah.
coming to this country.
Mhm.
And that is something you don't know. You don't know the ins and outs. You don't know that if you invest in stocks and all this, you don't know that unless somebody feeds it to you. So these
No.
are things that, like with internet, there's no reason why Africans should come to this country and not know those things.
And not know
You are
those
not going
things.
to be
But
rich
that's not what
unless
they're
you know.
focusing on. They focus, yeah, that's not what they're focusing on. So nobody tells them. Nobody really have
But the white people are
how.
not going to tell them that's their tricks. They're just, oh
Mhm.
yeah, come, and only for them to make money off of them again too.
Right, right, right. So that's why, this keeps happening. John, you are late. We are about to leave. John is just popping up. We're
Oh,
about, we're about
well,
to
let him
leave.
join us the last few
You
minutes.
are
Let's see what he's got to
way,
say.
way late, John. I'm gonna bring him and I'm gonna have him have it. But we have Stella. We have Stella. If you have
Hi, Stella.
we have
Serum.
Serum. I don't know if you're still watching. Hello, Serum. I don't know where you're watching from, but Stella Afari, thank you. God bless you too. And is this I have another, is this your sister?
No, that was probably me, and I deleted it.
Oh, that was you. I was like, who is that? I'm like, okay. All right. So let me bring John in and see what he has to do. He disappeared again. All right. So John disappeared. So okay, he joined again. So let's see what John has so that we can wrap this up. But so really today's show, guys, we really just wanted to talk about our educating our children, how we are raising our children, how we are bringing up our children, as far as, relationships is concerned and all of that. It's just, this is abroad. It's a big, it's a big topic.
Yeah.
But if we don't start somewhere, we're not gonna get anywhere. So we have to start somewhere. So we want you guys to share this, allow others to chime in. We want to know your thoughts. We want to know if you have some other ideas. We want to build on this. We don't want to just end it. I don't want it to just be one conversation, because if it's just one conversation, it's not going to get anywhere.
Right.
It is not that. What is the point of us doing this?
No, it has to be a continued conversation. Parents need to have this conversation in their house. This needs to be a conversation even on the pulpit. I know some churches they do try to address it in their own way, but needs to be a conversation in your break rooms, in your dinner tables. Talk to your friends that, like parents need to talk to other parents, like, that have children around the same age. Like, okay, what do we do? Or what shall we do? Like, because some of them are in the same boat.
Yeah.
And what can we do? Like, there's this generation, or this season we're in, there's so much information at our fingertips. You really can just Google, how can I talk to my children about dating?
And then you just get all of this. I mean, even AI can tell you how to choose.
That's true. Actually, yeah, you can actually, AI can even give you they can even give you a plan for the whole 18 years, how to start talking to them from age 1 to, all right, when they turn 5, this is how you're going to tell them that. They can give you your whole parenting plan, actually.
You just need to, let's bring John in. John, you are away. We are about to leave. But we wanted to bring you in to see what you got to say, just to see your face. But welcome to the show, John.
Thank you. Sorry for the lateness. Today I totally
husband and daddy duty.
I totally mixed up the mountain time,
and Eastern time.
Yeah. So I was totally out, and I realized, it was like 5 minutes to time, and Abla called me. So
I remember that. That's why I put in, when I send the reminder, I put Eastern time. That's what.
Yeah. Yes.
Even so, I was telling Abla, I said next time I have to find a different way of reminding you that it is Eastern time versus Mountain time. But it's
Yeah.
all good. We just had a chat. We did a recap, a little bit of recap of last night in Ewaga coronation and fundraising Christmas party yesterday. And then we just talked about, this topic we've been wanting to talk about, the parenting situation. So we had a little bit of chat, but I know that it can't end here. John, as you know, this conversation has to carry on. We have to continue having this conversation because we want our children's life to be better than our lives. We want things to be better for them. Our young lady, they need to know better. So what we are saying to everybody, John, I don't know if you agreed, we really believe that if we can embed in our knocking or asking of a hand, the respect that we have, this tradition that we have back home, the diary process that we have back home, if we can embed this, the process, we can embed this into our young ladies and embed it into our young man, I think it's going to change a lot of things. That's what we are thinking. If the women, the young man knows the value that they have, how important they are, the worth, their worth. They know that they deserve respect. They should be respected. If young man knows that they should respect the young ladies, no matter no matter how they look, even if they're not rich, their parents not rich, if they know the value of this tradition that we have, the culture that we have, we just think that it will save a lot of this headache that is going on. And we need to teach them from the young age. It is going to help with the way, we don't know, men don't know how to talk to women, or women don't even know how to respect men, or don't even know what, all of this, if we can just teach, because the tradition that we have, it is something that is really precious. We don't think about it, but it's precious. Our culture is precious. That people don't, we
it
just
is, and
take it
people
for
are
granted.
fascinated by it to the point where they want to, like, there's certain cultures they only want to marry into the African culture. There's some that want to only marry because of how we do the wedding process. Like they appreciate our values as well too. So
yeah, and I agree with that. Just yesterday, I had this similar conversation with one of my friends, and she was telling me that these days, like, foreigners are trying to marry into to African cultures because they just want to have that African wedding style thing. Just the culture, the food, just the that kind of vibe.
Some
that
of the party, some of the party, some want the value behind it.
Yeah.
Some want the party. That's
I think it's 50-50.
Some want the videos, the fame, and then just to post on their social media. But some really values what we have. Some really,
especially if you look at, like, the Nigerians and how they do things so extravagantly,
and people
with
will
all
say
the storing of money and stuff. People want that sometimes.
And if you go in the comment section, like, oh, I'm gonna marry me a Nigerian, I gotta get a Nigerian man. I mean, I've had friends tell me when I'm going, I'm like, oh, bring me back a man, Like, I'm like, that's not how it works. But a lot of them, they only, like, if at a wedding, like, they're only. And it's not all there again. Because I know some people you have to use the word some in this day and age, although we know that we mean some. But I'll give an example. In my opinion, this lady, Portia and Simon, this what's it called? Housewives of Atlanta, or however the name of the show is. She married a Nigerian man, and they're fighting every day on Facebook, on Instagram. And I truly believe she just really wanted to have a Nigerian wedding. That's in my opinion, because she got the dresses. She went to Nigeria. They did the knocking. She went through every single experience. So she had the experience. But in my belief, I think she really just wanted to have a Nigerian, because there's
it's not genuine. It's not real.
Yeah, there's a lot of people tell.
That I think she was in for the money too, but that's a different
story.
Then,
that's what they said too. Like, they found out that she
was great. I mean, that.
I still think she knew, but she just wanted to have the wedding, and because I feel like she's at a point where, and this goes back to, again, the cultural value. This is probably why there's also a disconnect. There's some people whose upbringing, they don't have certain morals, or some morals don't really hold them back. Right? Say like, I don't want to say the wrong thing. So I think she may be in a stage like marriage is just paper. Like marriage is just like, so like to me, I feel like she's been in a few marriages now, and I feel like because of who she is, because she's a celebrity, she just gets into marriages. But I really do feel like she really just had this wedding
was just to get
because it made good money. Yeah, it makes good, like it was good money. And she was like, I have my own money. If I keep my things out, let me just do this for 1 year and leave. I truly believe that's really what it was. I don't know.
I mean, that's the wrong thing to think. That's the wrong way to think. We shouldn't even just be saying that I want to do it just because of the fame, just because of the parties, just because of that, because life is too short. You know, we only have one life to live. What is the point of going from one man to another man? What is the point of getting all this stress? You know, so that is a different story. That they just trying to get this and see how he feels and all of that and just the fame. But that's different. We're talking about reality, like real people, reality, real people. So real people, we're talking about people, you know, we need to educate our children. We need to have a different mentality. We need to change the way we see things. We need to broaden, you know, we need to want better for our children, and we need to change the way we are educating them, because what we went through, we cannot expect our children to go through that and then come out strong, because we were built differently. I tell my son, I say, there are things that I've gone through. You go to half of this, you probably like you're gonna be in a straitjacket, you know, because we were built. We were somehow like we were built differently. So we can expect our children and just want them to suffer the way we suffered and go through struggles the way we go through struggles. We have to do better. We have to want better for them. Yeah. Because it is hard out there. It is tough.
And we're in a better times. I feel like there's just so many more tools that we could really use to, you know, soften the blow. Like how to, like, you know, let's say 20 years ago, you're isolated. Like, okay, my child is going through this. I don't know who to talk to about it, because we're also very prideful people. Let's just say that too. We can be a very prideful people, and we don't discuss our issues. You can privately put this thing on YouTube. Let me just search this. My son is dealing with this, or my son is always in the bathroom. Why is he always in the bathroom? He's 14. He's always in the bathroom. And other people, they know what that means. So Google that. And how do I talk to him? Why is he always
Abla, he's allowed to use the bathroom.
No, listen, I'm just telling you what some of my friends, they say about their children, and I'm just like, okay, why is my son? Because truth be told, some women, especially let's say you're a military wife, right? You're home with the children, so like you're kind of by yourself, and you grew up in a home with only girls. If you grew up with only sisters, you may not understand what your son is doing, but if you grew up with brothers, you might have a bit more of an idea, right? So if she doesn't know my husband is overseas somewhere, let me just Google this thing, because I don't want to ask my church members what's going on and they disgrace me. So there's so many. Just Google this thing. My son is always locked in the bathroom. What do I do? Some videos will tell you take the doors off the hinges. Some will say
that's the thing. You know, everybody will you'll be overwhelmed.
But then you'll find a video where someone's like, I went through this with my son, and this is what I did. And then, you know, we're best friends, or you know what, because you don't want to embarrass these kids either. When you embarrass them or kill their spirit, they're not gonna, you're pushing them away. You're pushing them. The moment you kill their spirit, they're never coming to talk to you about that ever again. You better kiss that part of the relationship goodbye.
All right, John, since you are we have talked. So you just come in, and so what do you have to say? I know you're gonna have to watch this before our next time, so that you can get caught up later. But you do know the gist of, you know, what this issue is. What do you have to say? I mean, besides from, I told you what we really agree that our culture, it's important, our tradition. If we can start with that, it will make a difference. No matter where the child goes, it will make a difference. And I was referring to the Bible said, you know, teach your children how they should go, and they will never depart from it. If we embedded this into our children's mind, no matter where they go, it will never depart from them. I can say that these are the things that I learned. That's what get me through when I came to this country. Oh my God. At 16, I'm on my own till now. It's the education, it's the upbringing, is all of these that I learned that got me through. You know what I mean? So if we teach them, I really believe that it will change a lot of things in our young ladies and young lives. So John, what do you think?
I definitely agree with, you know, making sure you start them young and teach them Personally, I'd say the values that I have were things that were embedded in me from, my parents, me being at home, and my dad and my mom, them teaching me what not to do and what to do, kind of shaped my life. And
Right.
even when I was in like the boarding house, I started boarding school like really early. So I started boarding school in junior high school. So that's how early I started. And I think because of my upbringing, my independence did not lead me astray at that very young age. And then I went to college. I was not in the house, and then me traveling here by myself and being here, same thing. So definitely teaching the children at a younger age is definitely a good thing. Now, to the topic itself, which is parent is the style of parenting, keeping the is it just females?
Everyone.
Yeah, is the style of parenting keeping the kids single. It's yes, somehow, if I'll put it, for the most part, I'd say it's a yes, because relationships are frowned upon back home. And when I talk about relationships, I'm talking about that boyfriend girlfriend romantic relationship, and it's almost like they don't want you to be in a relationship from the time you're born all the way till they feel okay, you have to get married in the afternoon.
Yeah, it really would be that afternoon.
You have to wake up in the morning and find a husband or a wife, date her within 6 hours, and then
you're married.
So that somehow prevents, people still date on the low. They're going to hide and do it, but that's some of the reasons why sometimes it's like it takes long, because sometimes these kids are scared of coming forward and just showing the parents that, oh, this is my my boyfriend, this is my girlfriend, just because of that culture. And somehow the kids are not really single. It's just that they put the idea of I'm single in the minds of the parents.
Right.
Because if you really, a lot of the parents don't, they think their kids are single, and then all of a sudden, oh, I'm bringing this man to come introduce himself to the family. And at that point, it's almost like a very official thing. It's like, okay, I'm coming to show my boyfriend, which probably at that time is like a fiancé to my parents. And parents, I don't know, they're not going to really know how long they've been dating and stuff like that, and they just kind of roll with it. So definitely the culture, it's it frowns upon it, and it's good and it's bad, right?
Yeah.
Good side, if you go back home, you don't get people getting pregnant just like that. Like, you don't see you don't see people just having babies out of wedlock, like
You don't
how
see
we
Nick
see.
Cannon type of families, like Nick Cannon behavior. You do, but not in the manner that Nick Cannon is doing it.
You do have a
You
lot
do,
of
but
that.
not the manner that Nick Cannon is.
We have that,
Yeah.
but if you look at the volume, it's really, really low.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know what? Nick Cannon has money. You don't see that from poor people like you do in America. The ones, let's just say, I think that's a better way to say it.
If you look at how, like, that kids that don't know their parents and stuff, normally don't know their mom.
Not having, the father.
Kids not having the father figure in their life, it's really, really rare. It's almost like back home, you impregnate, you have to marry her.
You take care of your responsibilities.
So somehow it prevents, it's prevented a lot of these things, which has been a good part of it. But then it's also produced people who are so dependent on somebody to take care of them, like like the young girls are all they've grown up staying home their whole life. Maybe daddy has been the one, or mom has been the one taking care of her, and now for a man to come into her life, it's almost like that man has become a walking ATM.
Yeah.
So they expect the man to come in and take over all the burdens of their life, and
Right.
do everything their parents were doing, spend money, and sometimes it becomes problematic down the line too, because I mean, in this day and age, it's like women have careers too,
Right.
just the same way as men. So although we're not saying, okay, we're going to be doing 50-50 and stuff like that, during the time of a relationship, one person should not burden the other person with all their troubles in the world. It's almost like you guys are getting to know each other, trying to study and see if even you guys are like compatible. And then if you get to the stage where you are compatible to move forward, it should still not be one person, taking all the burden. Like, I mean, the woman should not, I mean, unless you guys understand that that's what you want to do, but the woman should not take, the whole burden of, oh, I have to make sure I cook, I have to make sure I clean, I have to make sure I do this and do that and do that, which, society deems like a female thing. Yeah. And then the man should not take just the responsibility of, okay, I have to always be bringing money and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if you guys agree to that, then that's something
fine.
that,
Whatever.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's always as long as the two people who matter agree.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's
as long as in an agreement.
Yeah. That's why all these gender wars don't even matter. I'm like, why are there gender wars when you're not marrying the person behind the other computer?
Right,
like,
right.
You're just like, go and find someone who's like you and live happy.
Right, and live happily.
Like in my house like this, I mean, I cook sometimes. I'm not like the
that's what it's supposed to be. Yeah, you're supposed to help.
Once in a while, I'll bring out like a steak, grill something, sometimes I'll make something in the house. So I feel, these responsibilities definitely need to somehow be revised so people understand, in this day and age, women are not solely at home the whole time anymore.
No, I mean, that has changed a lot.
Right now,
it needs to share responsibility.
But that goes back to upbringing too, because you still have a lot of guys from this generation who believe that like oh, my mom did it, but like or they may not realize like their mom did it, but maybe your mom didn't work.
Right.
So like there's other
that's all that was her job. Her job was
so that's the other thing too. Like some people don't like. There's still people who think maternity leave is a vacation. They don't realize that's a recovery time. Like so like that, and that's the mentality. Some people like it's like you're a woman, you're supposed to be able to go through that. So they think birth is
that's
like
still going on.
I just went to the dentist to go and have my teeth cleaned.
Maternity leave is nothing.
So sometimes too, it also is like. And this is where it goes back to where you're not taught how to date, because I would say there's some people who, while they may not have been taught, they've seen things and they know this is I don't want this, I don't want that, I'm not going through this, I'm not going through that, and that's how they somehow but then they find themselves in situations similar to their parents because their parents didn't teach them, and now they're in a household where they're suffering. And it's because they weren't taught how to they weren't taught how to vet the person, because men and women both. I know it, like they'll say it's more common with men, but men and women both can put on an act till they get past the marital the exchange of vows. And then you see their true colors.
But then you see their true color. That's what I talked about this. Abla was talking
but
about.
Their colors were showing before then. You were just wearing your sunshades and didn't want to see it.
You can't fake it for so long. You can only do it till that moment, and it's all going to come out. So I always preach like on Charlie. I say I preach. Don't do it. Just don't fake it. Do not fake it. Let them know you're true you and accept you for who you are. That's the best way to go. Don't fake it.
Somebody will like it.
Yeah, well,
And the last
you don't bath every day. You don't bath. You bath once a year. There's somebody who also doesn't. That only baths once a year. That will find you.
Can find,
don't come and bother us who like to bath, please.
You will find it. You'll find it.
Those of us who like to bath, leave us alone.
One last thing I was going to add, and I don't know if you guys already talked about it, and it's still the parenting styles for Africans. You cannot leave the house unless you have a job that is out of reach of your parents' home, or you are married. So that alone is like one barrier to even having a relationship, because one, you cannot bring a woman to your dad's house.
We talked about you cannot.
You have to sneak that in. That's a problem on its own. As a woman, you cannot even think about letting a man come to your house.
And even if you're paying the bills, you still can't. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know.
So
I've
I
got
mean,
calls in boardroom meetings. Where did you go? Where did you go? I'm like, I'm at work.
and I'm even surprised because you were born here, right? You were
Yeah,
born
Yeah.
that's why exactly. Even though she was
in
born here,
so
it's
you are actually experiencing that full African treatment then.
Mhm.
'Cause-
You'll be surprised. A lot of us really had the same upbringing. Like, like that's one thing
Yeah.
I like to let people know. When our parents came here and they didn't throw us away. Like, oh, let the white people raise you.
Yeah.
I had a bucket in my bathtub. I have still bucket in my bathtub now.
I
How
still
many
have
years
a
later?
bucket in my
Like,
bathtub.
there's
I still have a bucket.
because that's what I feel like. I feel like for our upbringing, for those of us who were
Yeah.
born here, another reason there's a disconnect. Our parents were like expecting us to still have the Ghanaian or the Togolese mentality, but they gave birth to us here, and they don't understand that we're Americans too. At home, we are Togolese, we're Ghanaians, but once we leave these doors, we're Americans. Like we're trying to balance between two different identities, truly.
Yeah.
But the values they did not because that's all they know. That's all they know. Like there's a small percentage that I would say will, like, I have some cousins, they every single boyfriend they've had from middle school to today, that they have come to the house. I was like, wow, you people are different. But that's like they're the only households that I know do that. But their parents are a little bit more open-minded. They came here when they were much younger as well too. So, but I would say for the most part, most of the people I grew up with, the parents brought those same values with them. So you can't go out. But what you missed is that there's I feel like some of the newer generations, they're trying. Like there's a young lady who was telling me that her mom's the gentleman that she's they're in high school, so I don't want to say dating, but that's her little friend. Their mothers take them out together. So like they get to know each other, and like they're trying to build it in a way where they'll start to allow them to be out on their own, but they're involved from the beginning. So some of the newer African parents are also trying some different techniques as well too.
Yeah. So that boy, he will think twice. If you're going to hurt
Him
this girl,
too. Yeah, he's always,
so
even
he'll
if they
think twice
don't
because
end up together, he's already on the right path as well. To
he already
16 and
have
you're
the
doing that.
respect.
His mom is also doing a good job with him as well too.
Yeah. So we're gonna end it here. We're definitely going to come back, John. Next time we'll make sure that you have the time zone
right time.
correct, the right time zone. But I just wanted to, Abla, do you have anything else you want to add before we go?
No, I'm sure. I know we'll be back again, so
We're
I'll
gonna
just
be
save
back
it
again. But John, you say something that remind me of a story. You said 50-50, when you saying that you have the 50-50 thing. I don't know, I hear echoes on my side. But you don't hear it. I met a guy, right? It was online dating. Don't ask me how, but I know I was talking to this guy, and I was in Maryland. He calls me, and I was in a car with my sister, and this man was like, he believes that I'm his wife. He's African.
Hey.
Yeah. He believes that I am his wife. This guy said he believes that I am his wife. And he wanted us to discuss certain things. And he was telling me that in order for me, that he's ready to move back to Atlanta. He's ready to move. He didn't say me move there. He was ready to move here. But we need to understand that when he comes, or if we stay where I am, or if we move somewhere, we're supposed to split everything. It's supposed to be 50-50.
Click. I would have hung up immediately.
No, I didn't hang up.
Connection. I don't have credit.
I didn't hang up. I was just listening. I was just listening to him to tell me that he believes that a good marriage, a successful marriage, that everything has to be 50-50. Like the expenses has to be split in two. We have to agree on it. And it has to be something that we sign. This man was serious. And I was just listening. My sister I didn't even realize that I was in the car with my sister. All she was saying, hang up the phone.
No, I'm your sister. That would have been me. Like, I would have even taken the phone and hung up for you. Can you carry 20 weeks of the 40-week pregnancy and you're saying 50-50? Come and carry 20 weeks and then we can talk about it. Like, are you okay?
She kept saying, raccrocher téléphone, raccrocher téléphone.
I would have just taken the thing.
The thing is, I didn't realize she was listening to what he was saying. So she could hear what he was saying.
How could she? When she heard that nonsense, when she heard 50-50, I know her ears were like, what's happening? Not my sister.
So I was
hey,
like,
me.
what? So I was like,
our family. No.
I had to educate him. I educated him. I said, you know what? Where I am right now, my mother, I know that even my mother and my father did not teach me that. They did not raise me to be, and I know that I'm not going to ask you to pay everything for me, but it has to be some kind of agreement. You have to be the man and I have to be the woman. But at the same time, I am not going to sign a contract. You say, if I'm looking to stay with somebody and pay 50-50, I may have just go and get a roommate. I mean, I'll get a roommate so we can split everything 50-50. What is the point? But this boy, I educated him. I said, yeah, this is, I'm not who you are looking for. I am definitely
not exactly. I'm not the one for you. I'm not that wife. I don't know which God you talk to, but wrong number.
Wrong number. Oh my God. That just reminded me. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining. John, thank you. Abla, thank you very much. Another great conversations. John, when we watch this, there's an article that we read on here. You're going to see that next time. We can see what you think about it.
Okay.
So thank you guys for watching. Abla, we'll talk later. John, thank you very much. We'll carry this on. But guys, thank you very much again for joining us. Mi aton dak bena mi be mi le kame na mi dem le kame wa mi de ku mi partager lien kudo parce que nya ko mi le blanc ele vevere na mi mi sa mi le vevere na surtout mi ave jono ele vevere na o donc a mi partager ne mim le siana ti mim le mi mu abonné na siana TV kudo chari wono ko ami awa fifijen voa mi agbadogo dimanche prochain. Guys, I thank you very much for joining. I appreciate you being here. Please share the link with everyone. If you have not subscribe to the channel, Siana TV and Chatting Wonoko at the same time. But we are here every Sunday, 4 p.m. Or 9 p.m. GMT. On Siana TV or Chatting with Nicole. Please share this with everyone. You know, our children, our young children needs to know this. You need to watch it with them. And we just want you guys to chime in. Whenever you're watching this, let us know of your thought. I'm going to be monitoring the comment section. So please make sure that you send us your comment. If you have any questions, you want us to come back with a different topic that we can discuss to help our young people, our generation, that is involving our culture, whatever it is, please let us know because that's what we want to do. We don't want this conversation to end today. We want to carry it on. That's the whole point. So that our children's life will be better than us. We want them to have an easier life. We want them to have easier relationships, than we. We want them to have it better than we have. That's the whole goal. All right. So I want you guys to share with everyone, let somebody know. Subscribe to the channel if you have not, again, and also check out the rest of the videos. But until then, because we're already going to 2 hours, I don't want to play a video, but I will encourage you guys to go to Siana TV. You're going to watch all the parties, the coronation, and then the fundraising, the Christmas party of Ewaga, and also the one for New Jersey. If you go to Chatting with Nicole, you're going to see all the pictures, all the videos that we have there. For last night, it was a beautiful night, and I want you guys to check it out if you have not already. But until Sunday, stay safe and blessed, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.